Hi everybody, welcome to our first puppy preschool socialization class online. My name is Steven. I'm one of the puppy preschool caregivers here, and I don't know your name. I'm sorry. We just met. So anyways, welcome to Puppy Preschool and our socialization class. And what we do here with our puppies is our number one focus first is to make sure that they feel safe at all times, because you can't learn when you're scared. So in doing that, we make sure the puppies feel safe by monitoring their body language and seeing this puppy feels very safe because it's just decided to chew on my thumb. But we want to make sure they feel safe at all times so they can learn. And in doing that, we tend to do, our puppy socialization classes in stages. And the first stage that we usually start out with is basically handling. So we'll have our volunteers come up and we'll give them a treat bag full of their food, and they will have the puppies come up to them one at a time, and well, ideally we like it one at a time, but sometimes the puppies will just rush one person. And the rule at Puppy Preschool is if you're on the ground and sitting on a couch, you're fair game as a puppy jungle gym. So these kids actually, what they do is we'll give them some kibble, we'll handle their paws, we'll handle their ears, give them some kibble, we'll touch their tails, give them kibble as well. And basically they start getting used to it, and with the army of volunteers that we have coming through here, basically they get to meet people from all walks of life. So they get to meet little old ladies, big burly guys with trucker caps on, young kids, they get to meet teenagers, adults of all ages, all walks of life, every race, creed, and color you can possibly think of. We get a lot of different kinds of visitors here. So we work on that in the first stage. The second stage, we start to do strange objects, and we'll use like everyday household objects, a vacuum cleaner, an umbrella, soda bottles, children's toys, a walker, a wheelchair. I'm trying to think of all the things that we have. We've got musical instruments as well too, but things that we'll set out on the floor. We have teeter-totters, and the puppies will go and explore these things. And then we also have a scale to my left, which everyone knows what the struggle is like to get an adult dog onto the scale at a veterinary clinic. So here at Puppy Pre, one of the things that we work on is basically we'll sprinkle some kibble on that and get the puppies used to standing on it. And then when it comes time for them to go to their forever homes and they go to the first vet visit and they have to be weighed, they're not afraid of the scale. Moving on, let's see, our next stage of socialization, we do noises. So we'll fire up the vacuum cleaner for a second. We've got a doorbell that we ring. We've got a microwave oven and a trash bag that will pop open, hair dryer, a blender. We'll drop objects just at a distance though, to make sure we don't startle them too badly and get them used to different sounds. And then we've got like skateboards and other things that move kind of on their own that they can get used to as well. I'm going to put you down now because I know you want to explore. And basically, we get them used to all different kinds of stuff with different people at all the time. And one of the things that people may not realize is that puppies or dogs in general do not generalize well. So with having all these different people doing the same thing over and over again with them, they learn to generalize very quickly. They learn to be very social. They get used to meeting, people, and it's a good thing for them, and they get very happy. Are we peeing on the blanket? No, okay. And let's see. Other things that we do is we will leash and collar train them briefly. We'll take them out on walks. In addition to that, we've got like a trash can outside that we'll by them at a safe distance so we don't scare them. We want them to get used to that. We've got bicycles that we use as well too, so they get used to seeing this. We'll walk them on the trail, but when they're this young, it winds up being more of a carry than a walk. I know, I love the way you're looking at me. And let's see, so actually I'm just gonna take a quick walk around this room to show everybody what the puppy socialization room looks like. So this is our room, and what we try and do is we try and simulate as much of a home as we can here. Obviously, we can't completely recreate a home, but we have to clean the room, and we do that on a regular basis, and we make sure that everything in this room is, sanitized between litters so we don't pass the cooties on from one litter to the next. This door here is what we call our closet of scary things. These are all the items that basically we use to train the puppies with. We've got hula hoops, a plastic fire hydrant, the skateboards, motorcycle helmet, the wheelchair that I talked about, hats, and basically everything that we could possibly think of to get the puppies used to being in a home. Yeah. Close that. And then here's our kitchen counter and our refrigerator, which makes noises. Also the other thing that I didn't mention was the dishwasher, which also we use frequently. So sometimes we have puppies in here and we get them used to that sound as well. So let me grab a seat again. I'll put you down, little one. Okay. So some of the questions I commonly get from our volunteers that come here is they ask, let's see, I'll start backwards. The one that they ask usually is how old are puppies before they age out? And at Puppy Preschool, it's usually 6 months, but it's not a hard, fast rule. Sometimes we have shyer kids. You just like being up here, okay. Sometimes we have shyer kids where it's more of a benefit for them to stay here and continue working on their socialization skills, especially if they're fearful of the world. And seeing younger puppies do the things that they're kind of scared of helps to bring them out. Other questions I get are, how old are the puppies when they arrive here? On average, let's say if we went through the normal cycle, either the litter of puppies or mama came with the puppies, they would go to our puppy admissions building, and they're usually either a week old to a couple weeks old, and they'll go to puppy admissions, and they'll stay there until they reach about 9 weeks of age, where they get their vaccines, they get their food. If mama came with them, mama feeds them until it's time to wean them off mama and get them onto regular food, and we do that. And then once they reach the age of 9 weeks, they go to the clinic where they all get spayed and neutered, and then they move into Puppy Preschool, and then we begin the whole training process that I was telling you guys about. Trying to think of other questions that people ask me. So actually, one of the things that I generally talk about during the class is the critical socialization period. It's usually between the ages of 3 to about 16 to 20 weeks. There are different studies that cite different ages where it ends, but it's not a hard, fast rule from what I've learned, in that puppies are like people, are individuals, and they actually go through and some can continue learning, others it's a little bit different. So the best way, I guess, scientifically I could explain it was the puppy's brain is open and it's ready to make all these neural pathways, all these connections. So it learns like this one neural pathway is like skateboards are safe, wheelchairs are safe, people are safe, people with beards are safe, and then basically at the end of it, the brain goes through a change where whatever little neural pathways were not used, let's say it didn't learn that cars were safe, that gets sheared away at the end of that, and then it becomes an entirely different type of training for the puppies. And let's see, other questions I get asked: do we potty train our puppies? No, because they have in and out access, and they kind of figure that out on their own. Some do better than others, obviously. And they asked if we do basic training with them, and I guess one of our behavior consultants actually put it really, really succinctly, and he had said that we train our puppies to be rude before we teach them to be polite, and that we want them to not be afraid of the world. And this one fell asleep in my hands. So one of the things that this is too cute. I'm sorry. I gotta capitalize on this moment. So one of the things that we work on is, or that we see here commonly, that's really cute, is the puppies that are otherwise not shy, that go through the entire socialization, all the things that we do here. Basically, it's really cute because they reach a point where anything new that comes around, they go running up towards it. It's like, what is this? And they're completely brave and unafraid of it. And wow, I'm boring you. I must be losing my grip. And I mean, it's really cute. Now the shyer ones, obviously, we slow down everything that I explained that we do with them, just to make sure that they learn to get comfortable with it. And a lot of them do overcome and do wind up doing great in their homes. And the follow-up stories are the best, that I really love. So, any questions?
Will you talk about like these guys are all from the same litter, but that's not always the case here at Puppy Preschool as far as runs. Like sometimes we have multiple litters. Is that true?
That's true. So oftentimes what winds up happening is sometimes we'll get like singles or doubles, and we will do a mix and match and kind of combine them with kids from other litters. We like to do puppy play dates, provided there isn't any type of a quarantine going on, because sometimes puppies are little kids, so they get sick as well. And we'll do like mix and match play dates, so they learn to basically be with other puppies that may have maybe a more aggressive playing style or a more passive playing style, so they learn how to kind of balance things out. Other times, we try not to have our puppies live alone, so we want them to remain social, especially during this critical socialization period, not just with people and all the rest of the world, but with other dogs as well. So as puppies get adopted out, we'll have maybe like one or two left. We'll try them out. We do little puppy play dates and get them used to each other, and then move them in together. And that actually helps them tremendously for when they go home as well. All right. This one is just,
I know.
I'm going to see if we lay this one down. My arm's falling asleep. Here we go. She's like, no. Okay, I'm sorry. Here, how about we do this? Okay, that's better. Okay. Let's see, other questions that other people ask me. I'm trying to think of all the things.
Do you have any recommendations for like if you were adopting a puppy and you have a dog at home or another animal, cat?
Usually with puppies, we don't have to worry too much about it. The puppy adapts to, they're at this younger age, they're much more malleable, and they'll mold into whatever lifestyle that they live in the household. Some puppies, obviously, especially with certain like breeds, tend to be really energetic. So it's important that we make sure, and our adoption coordinators are really amazing at that, making sure that they match them with the right homes, and that they go to, for example, if it's a very high energy puppy that is going to go to a high energy home that actually does a lot of outdoor and physical activity and whatnot. But for the most part, most puppies tend to generally be, your run-of-the-mill dogs, and they're fine. Hi. Let's see, other questions I get asked. I'm trying to think of all the different things. And other questions is, actually to answer your question. So with any puppies going home with another dog already in the home, usually most puppies will adapt. Most adult dogs already know where the child is, and they'll kind of like fall into that pecking order. They're like, all right, I'm the kid, you're the adult, and they actually, it's great if they go home with an adult dog that's already learned how to use the doggy door or whatnot, because they wind up becoming really good role models for them. Oh my goodness. We've discovered the pee. Oh, uh-oh, are we stuck? Let's get you out. And yes, this is my dream job. In case anyone wants to know, just briefly, I've been with Best Friends almost 6 years. It's a great organization to work for. I've worked in adult dogs for about 5 years, and I've been in puppies for almost a year now, and absolutely love every minute of it here, especially this particular portion, because I've learned about the early development of puppies and how to successfully raise a young dog, a puppy into an adult dog that's well behaved and whatnot. I know, my arm's falling asleep. You're killing me, little one. But so mix and match play dates. We have a puppy park where we get to actually kind of do mix and match dates there as well. One of the nice little perks of being here is also the different members of the team actually each has a dog that's actually great with puppies. So that's another aspect of socialization. We get to bring in our adult dogs and give the puppies a chance to interact with adult dogs of varying sizes and temperaments and whatnot, which prepares them for the home as well. It prepares them for going to the home with another adult dog there already as well. Their walks, like I said, we work on that. It starts off as a carry at first, and then it gets a little bit crazy. Anyone who's ever had to walk a puppy knows just how difficult it is kind of at the beginning, but then eventually the puppies learn the routine and they're like, okay, this is good.
Perfect. Well, I think the puppies might need to recharge their little puppy batteries.
So too.
They seem to be getting tired.
This one just completely knotted off in my arms.
Yeah, we got some.
We got our diddle babies.
All right.
Alrighty. Well, thank you guys. I hope I was able to be informative and entertaining at the same time.
All right. Thanks for watching, everyone.